Well, hello everybody and welcome to Jeff's Baking Blog. Today I'm going to be making dark chocolate and stem ginger muffins. I apologise in advance if my voice cracks. I've got a bit of a cold and I have a glass of water here if I need it. So let's go through the ingredients. We need 110 grams of unsalted butter and 100 grams of dark chocolate, and I have put those together in a bain-marie and melted them. You can melt them in a microwave, but you have to be very careful with that. Then we have one medium egg, we have 100 grams of natural yogurt, 160 grams of semi-skimmed milk, but you can use full milk or you can use skimmed milk. We have 150 grams more of dark chocolate. We have 3 nuggets of stem ginger. That's the ginger which comes in little balls in a jar and they're floating in syrup. 2 of the nuggets have been chopped quite finely and the other nugget has been sliced into thin slivers so they can go on top of the muffins. We also have 200 grams of light brown muscovado sugar, and in this bowl I have 260 grams of plain flour. Now with the light brown muscovado sugar, it has a tendency to clump, so you need to make sure that it's fairly sort of ground together so that any lumps which may be in it have been broken down. So the first thing to do is to mix the wet ingredients together. So we'll take our milk, our egg, the yogurt, and our butter and dark chocolate. I've let this cool slightly so that it doesn't scramble the egg as we mix it together, but it shouldn't do anyway because the amount of milk and yogurt in there will actually sort that out. And we're going to whisk that together quite simply. We don't have to beat it for very long, we just want it to be all nicely combined. Then we'll put into the wet ingredients the diced stem ginger. The reason I'm putting it in the wet ingredients is if I try to mix it in the dry ingredients, because it's all rather sticky, it may clump together. In the wet ingredients it should actually separate out quite nicely. So put those to one side. We'll take our bowl of flour, we'll add our sugar, and we'll add the 10 grams of ginger, the 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda and the pinch of salt. We'll just mix those together. I'm just pressing down. I could do this with a whisk, but it's better to do it with a spoon because you can press down on the muscovado sugar so that any little lumps which have formed since you've weighed it out get nicely broken down. Okay, so then what we're going to do is simply pour the wet mixture into the dry and scrape it down. And then we mix this together. We don't want to over mix it, and it will have some lumps in it, and that's perfectly fine. That's how the mixture for muffins should be. I should mention that I have my oven preheating at 170 Celsius. That's 150 Celsius for a fan oven and about 340 Fahrenheit. So this mixture is coming together quite nicely, but you need to make sure you go to the bottom of the bowl and get any excess flour. So, having mixed our mixtures together, the last thing to do before we put them into the muffin tin is to pour in the 150 grams of dark chocolate and give that a bit of a mix round so that the chocolate gets combined. Make sure you go to the bottom of the bowl so that those chocolate chips are combined completely. And then what we need to do is to put them into our muffin tin. I'm using two different types of cup, but I want to try out each one to see how they work out. I'm going to use an ice cream scoop to scoop out the mixture. Try to do it without making too much mess. Okay, so the last thing to do before they go in the oven is to take these little slivers of stem ginger, that's a thick one, I don't want that, and just put one on the top of each muffin. So then those are ready to go into the oven. So I'm going to put them into the oven now, and I'm going to bake them for 20 to 25 minutes until they've risen up and the skewer in the centre comes out nice and clean. It may take a little bit longer, but I'll try it after 20 minutes, and if that's okay they'll come out. If not, I'll leave them in there for just a little bit longer. So I'll see you when I take them out of the oven. Okay, so here we have our muffins. They've actually cooked for the full 25 minutes, but they're done now. A skewer in the centre shows that they're done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave these to cool completely, and once they've cooled completely I'll take them out of the pan, then I'll come back and I'll just show you what one looks like on the inside. So I'll be back with you probably in about an hour. Okay, now I'm back with you after about an hour. The muffins have cooled down quite nicely, and I'll just open one like that. So there it is. I'm actually not going to eat it just at the moment. I'm going to eat it with my next cup of tea. The reason for that is that I'm afraid to say I couldn't hold back and I've already eaten one. So I'll have that one with my next cup of tea. But I hope you've enjoyed this video and that it's given you some idea on what you can do with ginger and dark chocolate. And I'll be back with you again very soon with another video. In the meantime, happy baking.